Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Rebelwatch. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Campbell Holmes. Alongside me, as always, sports reporter Sawyer Rebelwatch, TAYE Coleman, and news anchor Walker Farmer. Thank you so much again for tuning in with us. We have a packed show for you today. It's our last show of the semester, which is really sad to talk about. We've all become such great friends to the show, so we're a little sad, but we will talk about that at the end of the show. First, we need to talk about Ole Miss football because it needs to be talked about. Obviously, we didn't have a show because of Thanksgiving break. Thank goodness we did not, because I don't think we would have had the nicest words to say. Obviously, Ole Miss lost at Florida, in the Swamp. Things got messy fast. And if I'm being completely honest, and I'm sure y'all will agree, it just seemed as if we were never going to win. I don't know. Y'all might have different opinions because, you know, we did see in the first few touchdowns, Trey Harris is back better than ever, and then we just seemed to kind of lose our game. What were y'all's thoughts going through that game?
Well, I just thought it was just a straight-up choke job, honestly. Biggest game of the season. I know you saw Dart post on Instagram, Ole Miss versus Bama, you know, play to get in. Well, he had a shot against Florida to make the playoff, and he just didn't get it done. Honestly, I had a lot of faith going into that game. Just we've been playing so well the games before that.
We all had a lot of faith.
Yeah,
in
it looked like Ole Miss was back. You know, we kind of messed up at the beginning of the season, but it's okay. We're becoming that team everyone thought we were going to be at the beginning of the season, and then it was just some of the same mistakes, especially what we saw in the Kentucky game, just not getting it done. Defense honestly didn't play that bad, but just our offense just did not play well at all. You can't even put all the blame on Dart. Receivers not catching a lot of balls. Had the muff punt by Micah Davis, and then just couldn't get it done. At the very end, we put a little bit of blame on Dart then, threw 3 interceptions. Obviously, one of them was called back. So he had 3 chances to make a play and then just couldn't get it done. Just kind of summed up the season there. Just a disappointment, I feel like.
Yeah, it shouldn't have came to that. It's a tough loss because when you play college football, you're expected to get better as the season progresses. And, you know, it's game 11 and we still don't have a run game established. And we're still having these same things, empty possessions. You know, we had 0 points come from our 3 red zone appearances. That can't happen, and that just, once again, makes it harder on you as a team. So it just sucked to see, especially like you said, Walker, coming off the high of the past 2 games that we had. So it was just a tough one for sure.
Yeah, I said last show that it was going to be it was going to be a breeze, and then we go in, they drive down, Elijah Badger, and back of the end zone, touchdown, started off. I was like, this isn't what I want to see. We get the ball back. Their defense came out ready. They came out hitting. They came out more aggressive than we did. And then, like you said, on offense, couldn't get it going. Jackson Dart, 24-41. He couldn't find his targets, couldn't get the run game going. I mean, we went out expecting an easy win and just shut down real fast.
I agree. And going back to you, Walker, you know, you can't blame one person because in my mind, first 3 quarters are going on. I am like, I feel so bad for Jackson Dart. He's working his tail off right now. His receivers are not doing well. Harris just got hurt. People are trying to catch balls with one hand.
Exactly. Juice Wells. Yes,
Juice Wells. He's trying and he can't get it to go. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad for Jackson Dart. And then fourth quarter comes around and we have these interceptions, and it seemed as if it was, you know, not in our favor. But we did persevere, and we did have the Egg Bowl, which thank goodness we at least won that one. Which honestly, it warmed my heart that after such a devastating loss, like I know we all talked about it over iMessage after the game. I mean, I was crying after that Florida game. You know, it's my senior year. We're about to make the playoffs, and all of a sudden we just destroy it. And, you know, having that much sadness over a game and then going to the Egg Bowl, still having the Grove better than ever, still having all of us have the same camaraderie was something really special. Were you all able to go to the Egg Bowl?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I was very impressed with the crowd. You know, even my dad wasn't expecting a good crowd. I went to the Egg Bowl, you know, 2 years ago in 2022, and we lost. The crowd wasn't anything special. You know, usually a lot of people leave, but I think it just kind of shows the trajectory of what the Ole Miss program is doing right now. It's on the up. You know, so much was put into this last dance before the season, but we looked. Yesterday was National Signing Day, early National Signing Day. Got some really good players, including Caleb Cunningham, 5-star recruit, #1 player in the state of Mississippi. So I don't think Ole Miss is going anywhere, but you are right. It was awesome. You know, it's always awesome to beat your rivals, especially. I know they're not really a good team, but we played well for the most part. Not really at the beginning, but at least second half, shut them out, had some big plays, and it's just awesome. I'm glad our fan base got to at least experience something good after what's been a disappointing season.
Yeah, the beginning of that game kind of scared me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I was watching that game. I was like, okay, like let's get
Joke's
going. Let's get
over.
some offense. Yeah, seriously, joke's over. We finally started running the ball. We got Bentley involved. We've been saying that for how long now? He had 20 rushes, 136 yards, that long 89-yard touchdown run. Finally got that run game going at the end of the season. But, I mean, where was that the rest of the year?
Yeah, that second half was a lot better. Defensively, they stepped up. They started playing more aggressive. State was kind of scoring on us more than I thought. I even remember predicting with Campbell that we were going to score, 30-plus 30-plus points in this game. So it was interesting nonetheless, but the second half kind of made me feel good about it.
Same. It was a great Egg Bowl. We're still disappointed, but it is okay. When we get back, don't worry. We're talking about college football playoffs. We'll be back.
It's that time of the year again, fellas. When the mornings are hot, the afternoons are hotter, and football is on its way back. Now, games is won by the battles fought in August. Everyone that's not revered as the Ole Miss legend has been in your shoes before, trying to survive that Mississippi heat, competing for a spot, and knowing the sacrifice that it takes to make it in this league. You go into this money collection of men from 100 different places, and if you work, you emerge from it as one team with one goal and one heartbeat. The SEC awaits you. And if they don't know who you are now, they will soon.
Where are we gonna go?
Someplace warm. A place where the beer flows like wine. Where beautiful women instinctively flock like the salmon of Capistrano. I'm talking about a little place called
Oxford, Mississippi.
To see it is to believe it. You hear about it, but you just have to see the party.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Grove. The sound and fury are here. Getting out of toe down.
pageantry, the pride, the pomp is unmatched and unrivaled.
This stadium has come unhinged.
This is what college football is all about.
Oh, as he gets walloped.
No coach is having more fun than usual.
This is the place to be in college football right now.
Welcome back to Rebelwatch. Now, if you are a college football fan or even an Ole Miss fan, you definitely know this problem. We're going to talk about it. And first, I want to point out my problem with the college football playoff rankings that came out this past week. Every Ole Miss fan has a problem with it. So let's break it down, and I'm going to break it down for y'all. Alabama is my #1 problem with this. Why? Here's why. Ole Miss beat Oklahoma by 12. Ole Miss lost to Oklahoma by 21. Ole Miss beat South Carolina by 24 at South Carolina. Alabama beat South Carolina by 2. Ole Miss beat Georgia by 18. Rarely trailed the game. Best win against Georgia. Best loss for Georgia since the 2019 LSU Tigers. Alabama beat Georgia by 7 in the last minutes of the game. Both SEC, both 9-3, both 5-3 in SEC play. Worst loss for us is Kentucky. We all know it. It's embarrassing. We're their one conference win. I don't care because Bama, as the #1 team in the country, lost to Vanderbilt at Vanderbilt. They were the best team in the country when that happened. Jackson Dart is 3,875 yards, 25 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Jalen Milroe, 2,652 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. You see the difference with 2 quarterbacks. That's not all of the players. We have some of the best receivers in the nation, some of the best defenders in the nation. Alabama, they had 426 points this season. We had 450. Alabama let 207 points go against them. We let 167. Now, as I just said all of that, every single thing was for us. Everything was against Bama. The only thing that is different is that we are hotty-toddy and they are Roll Tide. Everyone and their mother will say Roll Tide because that gets more views. Ole Miss is full of family, full of students that actually love their team. And yeah, that's all I have to say. What would y'all like to say about it?
Snap poetry for that one.
Snap right
Wow.
there.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
but like you said, the only difference is the giant A on the front of their jersey.
Yeah.
Well, they're Bama. They're good every year, but not this year. This year we're all the same. But they're Bama. Oh, but they're good. Okay, but you heard the stats. I mean, I don't think they deserve to be in this or anywhere near this.
It's also a problem when every ESPN analyst is saying something about it too.
Yeah.
It's not just one. It's pretty much every single one of them.
This is not how it's
They're
supposed to go.
essentially looking at a blowout to a 6-6 Oklahoma team as a better loss than a 3-point loss to a 4-8 Kentucky team, which is just terrible given the timing. I would understand if Alabama lost this game early, but they lost this game 2 weeks ago. It's just it's no justification for it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, Campbell. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. There's no way that Bama should be ranked ahead of us. It's just like y'all said. It's just the logo bias, just because they're Bama. I mean, if you switch Ole Miss and Bama, like which team is who, the exact same way the records go out, I think Ole Miss, like actually Bama, like what they did, I think we finished like 19. And if it's the other way around, Bama's probably ranked even higher with what Ole Miss did. It's just because of they're Bama, and it's not fair. Hopefully the committee will learn. Hopefully there's enough backlash, but I'm not expecting things to change. I'm just hoping next season and the years after that, we can just play well enough that they can't cheat us out of it.
I agree. And also, it's really frustrating to learn, I'm sure all Alabama fans, if they weren't to get it in the playoffs, they were going to be like, fire their head coach. He did awful this season, nothing like Nick Saban, but since they're in the playoffs, they got nothing else to say because they're Alabama. So I really don't know what to say other than Alabama. I mean, I can't even, that's their job, not mine. I don't really know. They seem fine. Another thing that I kind of thought was weird, I'm definitely going to get one of these wrong, but if Alabama stays where they are going to play like Notre Dame or something.
Yeah.
And then, but Tennessee, number 7, is going to play Ohio State. And so it's just like, that doesn't even seem fair in itself because that's an easy game probably for Alabama. I'm sure they're going to win that one. But then if Tennessee somehow beats Ohio State, they have to go play Oregon.
Yep.
Yeah.
It doesn't, I know it's the first year of this 12-team playoff. It seems wrong.
Yeah, it's an experiment. They don't really know how it's going to go. You got to somehow get the conference champions in there, right? It shifts around with Boise State. If SMU can beat Clemson, if Arizona State can beat Iowa State, you have to get those teams in those higher seeds, which bumps those teams out a little bit, which is why they have Bama at 11, Miami at 12, even though Miami's going to drop down. It's all, and they're just testing it. Like I said, no one really knows how it's going to go. We got to wait for these championship games to be over with. But it's going to be interesting to see how it kind of pans out and see, honestly, how the games go, who plays who. It'll be fun to watch.
It will be fun to watch. Nonetheless, after all of the anger gets out and all the ranting, it's going to be a fun playoff series. Who are y'all thinking is going to win the whole thing?
I mean, Oregon's shown time after time that they're dominant. Yes, they had their stints with Boise State and Idaho and some of these close games, but then you saw what they can do against Ohio State. Yes, they lost to Michigan. But Ohio State's still a dominant team. I mean, they're 10-2. They're still really good. I'm looking at Oregon right now to win it all.
I am too. What about y'all?
I would have to say Oregon. Just as crazy as this college football season's been, honestly, probably one of the most fun ones to watch in a while just because all the chaos that happened. They managed to go through all of that, not losing a single game, which is really impressive to me. Dylan Gabriel, been jumping around a lot in college, but I don't know, he might be on like his 5th or 6th year now, but he's ending up having like one of the most passing yards in college football history. I think he's at least in the top 10. I think he'll play really well in the playoffs. They're the most experienced team. I think Oregon gets it done.
Yeah. I would be saying Ohio State. Now, I was probably saying them earlier in the year, but their offensive line concerns, specifically center, pretty much makes me want to go Oregon, but don't count out UT just yet. I got my eyes on them now that they've established their run game. But, yeah, right now, Oregon.
Yeah, we've seen that multiple times, like you said, against when Ohio State played Indiana and Michigan. Both their O-line just didn't do anything in that game, and that's why it was so close against Indiana in the first half. Yes, they put it away, but their O-line is definitely something scary. Yeah. I mean, they need to work on that and transfer portal offseason, get that done.
Yeah, for sure. Nonetheless, we might have different opinions, but we are excited for the college football playoffs. When we get back from the short break, we are going to move back to Ole Miss, and we're going to be talking about Ole Miss basketball. We'll be back.
Going to be a hot one out there for move-in weekend, Ole Miss. Good luck this year, Red.
You did it. You're home. I can't wait for you to discover the true meaning of hotty toddy. It's a cheer that connects us all to the red and blue. It's the moment that begins when you step on campus and continues long after you turn your tassel. I can't wait for you to discover your legacy and make the world a better place. Are you ready?
Ole Miss 18th NCAA tournament appearance.
This is fun, folks, as Baker's peeling it. Little heat check. Snow Collins for three. Rita!
Said, I love Madison Scott.
Ole Miss Rebels are having a lot of fun, and you can see why.
NewsWatch is a student-run newscast that goes live every week, Monday through Thursday at 5 o'clock.
NewsWatch is more than just a college team. It is an immersive learning experience. You learn certain skills that help you in your future journalism career.
Rebelwatch is just a cool experience because like I want to do something in the sports world, so just to get the chance to do that on a platform like this, it's just a great opportunity.
We are the only live station in the Oxford-Lafayette area, with Tupelo being the closest. We cover all local news.
Welcome back to Rebel Watch. We're now going to move to a much happier note, which is Ole Miss basketball. We are doing really good. Who knows? We might become a basketball school. We're doing really good, especially the men's team. They keep impressing me, especially with an overtime win against BYU. They might have lost Purdue. It's fine. It was 2 points, and they are number 12. And we took a great road trip to Louisville, and we did fantastic. Were y'all able to watch the Louisville game?
Oh yeah, I definitely watched it. Very pleased with how we played. Really just straight from the tip, we just dominated them. Really impressed with our defense especially. I know the commentators were talking a lot about that. We really just shut Louisville down. We were forcing them to shoot a lot of outside shots, three-pointers, and they just weren't making anything. And then it was just, we took it from there in transition. Sean Padula played really well. Dre Davis, who actually used to play for Louisville at the beginning of his career, had a really good game. I believe he had 18 points. I think this basketball team just keeps coming together. Really pleased with how they're playing against quality non-conference opponents. I know we talked about that a few weeks ago. We didn't have that last year, so it didn't really prepare us. But an overtime win versus BYU, which we were trailing by 10 in the first half, against Purdue, which is a really good team, was in the title game last year. We were losing by 17 at one point in the first half. Came back. We're actually winning by like about 7 points with 5 minutes left. Kind of choked that game away, but it's all right. It was still a very close game against a good team. And then just that Louisville game, which was super impressive. A team that went 2-1 in the Battle for Atlantis tournament, had some quality wins, beat Indiana, beat West Virginia, and ended up losing that in the championship game. But just very impressed with Ole Miss. I think if we can continue that in conference play, this is definitely a tournament team. And not only a tournament team, but a tournament team that could go on a run.
For sure. Yeah, I have to say, I am really impressed with our long range too, like especially Padula. I mean, he can shoot the ball from three, and
we can shoot this year.
We can shoot, and so I've been really impressed. Is there any players, Sawyer, that you've been
I was gonna say Sean Padula and Jalen Murray, the two guards, been carrying us so far. Jalen Murray's averaging about 14 points per game. Sean Padula 13.5, right there with them. They're both shooting. I would say the free throws I mean, those easy buckets, I mean, 96%, 84%, that's really good right now. Like you said, Sean Padula can shoot from 3, 41% from beyond the arc. I mean, they're looking really good right now. This team's hot, and they're looking good for conference play.
No, yeah, for sure. I'm really excited for conference play. I know this isn't in conference either, but I think another good teller will be against Memphis. I think that's going to be another really good game. It's in Memphis, too, in the FedEx Forum. Not going to say it's a tough place to play, but it's a lot bigger of a place than, you know, the Pavilion. So I am really excited for SEC play. I don't know if y'all saw this. The Auburn game is already sold out. So I think people are really excited for what this team is showing out. Yeah. Are there any players you've been impressed by?
I like more so how this team plays defensively. You know, those guys down low like Malik Dia and the other big bigs we have in rotations, like they're there to force, like you said, teams to shoot those outside or those tough jumpers. So I definitely think our defense is kind of what's been holding us over, because if you look at our stats or our box score, it's like we're playing really sound defense, and then to see that happen like against teams like Purdue, BYU, and stuff like that is great to see. So I'm excited about the team.
And that's encouraging to see too, because Chris Beard's teams are built on defense. Everywhere he's been, he's had great defense. He struggled his first year because our offense honestly wasn't bad, but he didn't have that good defense. This year, he got those two bigs, Malik Dia, like you said, Mikael Brown-Jones, got John Bull. You know, he's still young, but he'll get better. Having big men like that, and then our backcourts honestly are one of the best in the SEC, I believe, in Jalen Murray, Sean Padula, and Matthew Morrell. The way they're playing defense this year puts us in honestly every single game, because if you're forcing the other team to shoot contested shots, that's just going to help you win every time.
I'd have to agree. We're excited for the season to keep going. When we get back, we will be talking about our favorite moments from this semester. We'll be back.
The dynamic freshman is starting to make his impact.
Dagger with the shot clock down to 1.
That three-ball drops for Jamin Brakefield. Fagan from the corner with a triple. Morrell for 3, and that's a big response. Yes, Miss shooting lights out of the Pavilion. And give him one more. Wow, alley-oop. Well, you can't teach that. Well, that should give Ole Miss a boost.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused. A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game, to drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health? Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health. Discover the resources you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
We are Rebels. For more than 160 years, we've been accomplishing the impossible, from conducting the world's first lung transplant to helping prove Einstein was right. From preserving the past to saving the future. We are Mississippi's flagship university, a place where passion and learning unite, where friends become family, where small-town charm meets world-class innovation. We are the University of Mississippi. We are Ole Miss.
Welcome back to Rebel Watch. Like I said, this is the last show of the semester, so we're going to recap some of our favorite memories. They don't know about this one. My favorite memory, y'all haven't seen this either, is one time I had a blooper right before a show started, so y'all are about to see it. Let's take a look. Welcome back to Rebel Watch. I'm your host, Campbell Holmes. Thank you so much. Can we restart this? Sorry.
Oh my.
I said welcome back.
I remember my first intro.
Never in my history.
I remember my first intro.
My favorite part of the whole thing is sort of going, I remember my first intro, like that wasn't, that show was actually October 24th. That was
not the first
That
intro.
was not the first one. That's actually the only time I've ever done that, so props to me. Sawyer, what's your favorite moment?
I like rushing the field. That was fun for me. But I also like coming and experiencing the Grove, actually. This is my first time here experiencing the Grove, a good fun tailgate like that. So I've heard about it a lot. I was really excited to come, and I was there, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a fun experience to be a part of.
No, yeah, it's definitely the best tailgating in college football. Walker, what about you?
Yeah, it's just rushing the field, beating Georgia, you know. It was just awesome to have such a bright spot, you know, season of disappointment, especially because at the time we thought we were going to the playoff. It was just an awesome day, getting to celebrate. The Grove was rocking. It was just a great day.
Hey, and twice.
Yes, we did rush twice.
We did it twice.
We're 2 times as good as that. We did it twice. Look at us.
There's about to be a picture of me coming up after this in the field. Oh, there it is. I was saying, oh, sorry, Georgia. Oh, and there's Walker. And your twin brother.
There he is.
Shout out. No, yeah,
Shout out to farmers.
That was definitely, like you said, just a happy day. Everybody just had not a care in the world but beating Georgia, and that's what we did.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Taye, what about you?
It was Georgia game, rushing the field. That was a game I had circled on the calendar, was hyping up all semester. So to go to experience rushing the field like we all were there, celebrating with everyone. That was just an amazing Saturday. I'm still happy about it.
Oh, me too. No matter the outcome, that is still one of the best days we will ever have as students. So I can't even complain. I can't even complain. Well, we obviously have exam week next week. When are y'all going home? What are y'all doing? Y'all have any plans?
I'm going home Saturday morning.
Okay.
Next Saturday morning. Gonna go home, take a whole travel day to myself.
Okay.
Spend time with the fam. Enjoy that a little bit. Nothing crazy, nothing going on, but just good to be back. Haven't been at home. Didn't go back for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I was about to say, you haven't been at all.
No, haven't been back, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Walker?
Yeah, I'm just going to go back next Friday, not too far from here, just about 5 hours, drive up, see some family and friends, you know, catch up a little bit. You know, we talked about the playoff. I'll be watching that,
right.
Even though it'll be a little sad because Ole Miss isn't in it. I'll watch whatever bowl game we're in, just be like, please win.
Whenever we lost to Florida, my dad and I went on a walk, and he goes, well, y'all still get a good bowl game, and it didn't even click to me, and I was like, oh, bowl game, but yeah, it'll be good. Taye, what about you?
I'll be leaving Friday, heading back to Dallas, a little 8-hour drive with my roommate, seeing my dog Kobe, my mom, my family, so I'm really excited to get some rest and be back with my hometown friends.
I'd have to agree. It's only a short 1-hour drive for me to Memphis, but I'll be spending time with family. We go to Nashville for Christmas, so that'll be fun. And going to a lot of Grizzlies games. That's marked on the calendar. Every single game I can go to, I'm going to, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in this whole semester. We will be back, don't worry, in January. Us four, do not even worry about it. Once again, I'm your host, Campbell Holmes. Alongside me, as always, Sawyer Ravino, Taye Coleman, and Walker Farmer. Thank you again so much, and Merry Christmas. Good night, y'all.